Hey, this is Ryan. Whee! We just went out sailing today. We actually just got back from that, and it was really good. This was my favorite sailing trip so far, I think. And we put the GoPro on the top of the mast, which actually worked out super well. I'm really happy with how that turned out, because you're 20 feet out in the air, so you can see quite a bit, and you get a nice view of, like, you can see underwater here when we're just at the edge of the lake, and you get the nice reflections of the sun going and stuff. So that's cool. These guys are doing those, like, I don't even know what you call them, the boards that you stand on, but that looked kind of tricky. But the first thing we're doing here is just hooking up the mast, the big old pole that we're on top of. Grabbing the halyard. See, I can pretend I know what all these things are. The rope that I use to pull the sail up is the one you can see hanging down there. First 3 or 4 minutes of this is me just putting the boat together, so you can fast forward if you don't want to see that. But that's the boom. So the other big long metal pole there that we're gonna slip the sail into here, the kind of wooden fin thing that we just threw into the boat a second ago, is I don't know, the keel, the dagger board, whatever you want to call it, the fin thingy. And that's what's let you sail, across the wind, or almost, a little bit into the wind even. You can sail quite a bit into the wind if you know what you're doing, which I don't. But that's something that kind of confused me when I got into this. But that fin thingy is what lets you do that. It lets you sail into the wind almost. Not straight into the wind, but pretty close to straight into the wind. This blue rope we're pulling through is called the Mainsheet. I don't know why they call it a sheet. It doesn't look anything like a sheet. Whee! Here we go. But I think any rope on a boat that's controlling the sail is called a sheet, I guess. So, thunk. That blue rope, you can see it now, it's coiled up in the bottom of the boat there, is really the only rope you need to be messing with when you are actually in the water, which is cool, and it just controls where the sail is, whether it swings out to the side or whether it's nice and tight and in the middle like it is now. I'm putting the rudder on here, and I goofed that up. This is my first trip I made today. I did a second one that I ran out of GoPro battery for, but I think I just put that thing in backwards, but it doesn't really matter. So, hey, there's the sail up, but check it out, we goofed it up. See how it's caught on that support wire? So, eventually I realized that, and I fix it. Our sail is flapping like a flag kind of thing here, and it's called luffing, and that's totally fine. It just means the sail is pointed straight into the wind. It sounds kind of scary because it's all thumping around. Here, we're fixing that tangled thingy. Going around, hey, untangled. Much better. Now we're gonna pull it back up again. But there you can see really well that blue rope sitting on the inside there is what's letting the sail swing out or not swing out. You can see it's got a pulley system, and it kind of runs back along the boom there. That was a cool Pirates of the Caribbean type noise. All the creaking of this stuff. It sounds really cool. There, I'm just talking to myself. I'm about to jump very dignifiedly into the boat. There we go. Launching can be a little tricky because you don't want to get blown back into the beach, and you can't very easily hold onto the rudder and lift the sail and jump into the boat all at the same time. If you had another person, it would be easier. But it works out. So now we're going. We got some wind, man. You can see that buoy in the side, you know, moving away. We're cruising. So again, if you look at the waves, and I'm about to point with my finger. I'm going to point with my finger here in a second to where I think the wind is coming from, and you can see with the waves, pretty much it's from the right of the screen. So really, we're sailing kind of into the wind. You know, we're sailing a little bit to the right of the wind, but there we go. You know, we're kind of sailing towards it. And the reason that's possible is that wooden fin that we put backwards into the middle when we were launching off. Backwards, forwards, it doesn't really matter unless we hit a rock. Then I think if I had it the other way, it would bounce out a little easier and not get hurt. But we didn't hit any rocks, so it's all good. I don't know what I'm doing here. Professional jibing maneuver. Nope, just kidding. We're not going to do that. It's actually not all that tricky to tack or jive or whatever they call it. But I think that time I was just trying to figure out still where the wind was coming from. The trick I kind of learned today was if you turn your head, when you can hear the wind blowing over both your ears, you're looking right into the wind. If you can only hear the wind in one of your ears, you're not looking right into it yet. Which is pretty important, just because, you know, if you don't know where the wind is, you're in a sailboat. It's kind of important to know. So we had a little bit of a gust, and you can see the wind's changing direction a little bit. We're tipping a little bit. Woo! The wind's getting a little bit stronger. When it's luffing like that again, waving like a flag, it means either we've turned a little bit directly into the wind, or the wind has shifted a little bit. And so the sail is right in line with the wind. It's facing straight into the wind, and so it's not doing anything. It's just flapping around. And I think we're turning around now. We just, you know, went a little bit out into the lake and then came back. So if we're turning around, the sail will actually flip all by itself, and we're gonna have to duck, otherwise it's gonna clonk us in the noggin. Yeah, we're turning. Here we go. Duck, Ryan. Duck, 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 duck. It's so much fun. Just comes slamming over. But now you can see that blue rope I was talking about earlier. And see how I'm actually letting a little bit of it out. And so now the sail is, it's not right over my head anymore. It's off to the side a little bit. And that's because now we're going pretty straight with the wind. It's kind of hard to tell from the waves. We're not going exactly straight with the wind, but pretty much back the way we came. And so this is the way you'd think a sailboat would work, right? The wind is behind it. It's blowing you forward. Nothing crazy. No voodoo fin wood thingies going on here. We're just going straight. There, I'm pulling it in. See, I'm just pulling on that blue rope, and it came back into the middle. I don't know necessarily why I did that, but that's showing you what that blue rope does. And this is our half sail. So since it was so windy today, and I'm a wimp and all of the above, I used the half sail. The full one would come right up to where the camera is. It would come all the way up to the top, and you can see it pretty well from the shadow. If you look at the shadow, that we're only using half a sail, which is pretty cool. But that's about it. We're about to get back to the beach here. This is a pretty short, pretty quiet little out and back, but for me, as far as my experience level goes, that was a bit of an adventure. So the second run I made today, which I didn't record, so you can believe me or not, had quite a bit more wind, and we went quite a bit further out. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think I'm going to be doing this a bit more because it's a lot of fun.